guys, Chris here with Super Savvy Travelers. Hey, what is it that makes a renovation property a total no-brainer? When you look at the whole, 9 yards of everything, some renovation properties can be fabulous values, spectacular values. Others not so much. So what is it that makes it? And I have to say, I think a few things make it. Number one is the price going in. If it's low, you have you have much more money to play with and to do your renovations with. And another thing is that if you have your team set up, it's a much better deal because there's a lot less stress. The team is trusted and everything else. And I want to say, first off, that I'm going to show you this house. And full disclosure, it is a house that we bought. We actually assessed it as a renovation property. We lived in it for a few years, while we were kind of deciding what to do with the renovations, very comfortably. But we had specifically selected it for certain criteria. Number one, the price going in. Number two, the location and what you could do with the property. And number three, what would it cost to fix it up? I mean, those are basically the things. We had already had the entire team in place because back at 2021, after the pandemic kind of opened everything up, or everything opened up, people flooded over. We facilitated the sale of about 40 houses in Santa Domenica Talao, and the renovations were going nuts. I mean, Antonello, our architect, Salvatore, the builder, everybody was working. They had to bring people from the outside into Santa Domenica Talao in order to accommodate all the work. And the renovations, some are still going because they were massive, massive renovations. But I mean, there were cement mixers everywhere. There was noise everywhere. They were just renovating like mad. And it was really exciting to watch because the whole town is completely transformed as a result of that. And there's a lot of people from many different countries there that we brought in. We brought Americans, people from England, all kinds of different places, and international. It's really, truly an international community. But, and we bought this place and we said, okay, look, we brought all these people over here. Let's renovate their places first because we promised them a quick and easy renovation. So we kind of cooled our jets until such time as it was, our turn. We were comfortable enough and whatnot. And of course, the question then becomes, why are you selling the house now? You haven't done anything to it. And that's true. And I will say that the opportunities that we have come across in Tuscany have absolutely been way too good to pass up. I mean, they were handed to us on a dinner plate, and we can't pass it up. So it makes sense for us to make our base there. We still have a lot of interest in Calabria, and we still have Casa Cristina, which is our beautiful B&B. I'm going to show you some pictures of that. They're probably going by right now so you can see. Casa Cristina was a complete and total ruin. We bought it, we turned it into the most beautiful luxury B&B in the area. I mean, there's nothing touches it, right? We had the best team. So we still have Casa Cristina, and we still love her to death. She's been our dream project, our baby, everything. And so we still have a foothold in there, but the bottom line is up in Tuscany, there's a lot going on, and it's a long drive or a train ride from Calabria to Tuscany. It's long. So that just makes sense for us. So we wanted to sell this place and move our base up there. We've got a place up there. We're doing good. Anyway, I wanted to go over the price per square meter that you would normally pay for a property, a renovation property in Calabria. And it would be anywhere from 600 to 800 euros per square meter to purchase the property. Now, this property is a clean 2,000 square feet or 200 square meters, but there's another 100 square meters up above in the mansarda or attic area, where you could also put more living space or whatever you wanted to do up there. I wasn't going to do anything there because really more than 2,000 square feet, you don't really need it. And you have all kinds of guest quarters and things like that, which we'll go over, and the beautiful garden and everything else. So for all intents and purposes, we're going to look at it as a 2,000 square foot or 200 square meter property. So minimally, the normal price for this would be about 120,000 euros. Going up from there to purchase a renovation property, and that takes into consideration even the crumbly ruins. So there you go. This one is priced at 99,000. So this is a real good deal considering that's the average price per square meter of a renovation property in Santa Domenica Talao. And that is because of the low inventory. We can thank ourselves for that because we had everything renovated. So I want to go through this property with you because we think it, like I said, it's a no-brainer. And as you can see from the drone video, the views from this property are going to be absolutely spectacular. And the town itself is so beautiful. Now here's a view from the top/back. You can see that there's a driveway in the front. That brown door at the bottom is the garage. It's got an automatic garage door already installed, which works beautifully. And it has that massive garden in the back. Now the garden, I think, is probably anywhere from 1/3 to 1/2 an acre. You can put your vegetables up there. You can put a pool up there. There's a chicken coop you can renovate. If you want to make a little chicken hotel, you can totally do that. And from here, you can see the roof is in fantastic shape. Another thing I'd like to point out is that many houses are built right up against the rock or the dirt or whatever, for whatever reason. And whenever you do that, there's just moisture issues. It's a huge problem. This house has a little breezeway that goes between retaining wall and the house. So there's never any moisture as a result of the house being flush up against the ground. Now, when you go in the front door, the bottom part is the livable part where we were actually living for several years and we loved it. We were very comfortable. It's not the most beautiful right now. We kind of prettied it up a little bit, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. This was the kitchen. And still is, there's still a kitchen in there. The bottom part is about 100 square meters. It's divided right now into 4. Bear in mind that you can probably take out or widen the skinny walls, okay? The big walls have to stay. Those are generally load-bearing walls. Now, I'm not an architect, I'm not an engineer, I'm not a building professional, I'm not an agent, blah, 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 blah. I have just, with Pete, bought and sold many houses in Italy altogether. Renovated them, run them as B&Bs, all of that stuff. So we've been around the block. I mean, it's a well-trod path, I will just say. Plus, we went through that with all of those houses, those 40s that, those 40 properties that we facilitated the sale of in Santa Domenica, countless more in Scalea and the surrounding area, and now in Torrita di Siena, which is starting to heat up as well. So very hot stuff going on, and we love it. So this is going into the kitchen area, and this is another shot of the kitchen here. You can see there are those beams. They are salvageable. I would strip them back to their beautiful original glory and just leave them up there. I have a friend who had some beams. She took down a false ceiling for her renovation underneath. I guess there had been some fire, I don't know, back in the day inside the house, and the beams were just scorched, and they were like, I was like, oh no, maybe you could put something over them or paint them white, And no, she found somebody. They sandblasted them, they stained them. They're absolutely stunning. So if you can do that with those types of beams, taking off a little white paint would be simplicity itself. That staircase is ugly. That would be moved and a nice modern staircase put in that's much more comfortable. It's the most ridiculous staircase I've ever tried to get up. Now, this room here, as you go through the kitchen, you go into what we were using as the living room. And we loved it because it's light and bright, as you can see. The beautiful beams are there. There is a balcony door that opens up, and across the street is the best pizzeria in all of Calabria, the Bella Vista. Not only do they do pizzas, but they also do all kinds of Calabrian cuisine, all of the pastas, all of the meats, all of the salads. They've even made salads specifically for us American women who eat a lot of salads. So it's just a wonderful place. And I'll tell you something, that's Michelle. We get Michelle from this Bella Vista, Michelle Papa. She's absolutely wonderful. And she makes the best cakes on planet Earth. The pizzas are great. The food is great. But her cake, have you ever eaten a piece of cake and then all of a sudden had the sensation that, you're lifted off, lifted into the air and floated off somewhere? That is Michelle's cake. So there you go. And here's the view from your balcony window. And, Gigi used to love to stick her head out and bark at everybody that walked by. She knew everybody in the village, so they would walk by and she would bark a greeting and they'd all wave at her and whatnot. So it was really nice. From there, you have a view of the sea. You also have a view of the Lao River Plain and a view of the Polino National Park, because Santa Domenica Talao lives in the heart of the Pollino National Park, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous national park. And there you can see a little bit of the mountains. If you turned your head to the left, you could see more. Now, coming out of the living area there, you've got a hallway. On the right-hand side is a bathroom. Now, look to the left and look at those doors there. When you do your renovations in Italy, salvage those doors. They are desirable. They are beautiful. They are really a part of the character. I would take all that. Usually they put this sort of shiny stuff. I don't know why. Every time I've seen them painted, they've done that. But what I would do, strip it all off, because underneath is pure chestnut. These are handmade chestnut doors. Strip it all off, stain it a beautiful sort of mahogany dark stain, and you would have a gorgeous door there. And there's several of these doors in the house. So I would reuse them, make sure that if they put another doorway in, that it accommodates those doors and reuse them. They're gorgeous. Now, here's the bathroom. You're gonna laugh because it's totally done, totally modern, very beautiful bathroom. We were going to go along with the Amalfitana style in this bathroom. We were going to take it in the colorful blues and greens because it's close to the sea. And a lot of the places in Scalea, all the way down the coast from Amalfi, all have this sort of style, the sort of blues and greens, very a hat tip to the sea, which we love, and I love these blues. When you see my art, because I'm an artist, you can see that I'm heavily into blues. So this is a beautiful bathroom. They did a stunning job on this. That's the shower over by the window there. It's got a new window as well. Shower is big, it's comfortable, it's wonderful. Now, if you hate the tiles, the tiles on the floor are white, so they go with anything. You could just redo the tiles if you want, if it's a little too much blue for you. Okay, here's the master bedroom, what we were using as the master bedroom. There are 2 air conditioning and heater splits in there, and they come with the property. So to buy and install them is about $1,500 each. That's about $3,000 you would save. Here is the pranzo area. Now, the pranzo is, it literally means lunch in Italian. And it is the place where everybody gathers for dinners and things like that. It is a huge space. And Antonello talked to us about it and said, look, we can make a little corridor through there, turn that into a bedroom with an ensuite bath. It would be very simple to do. And his whole idea was to make this whole section the zona notte, which is the night zone, where you have all the bedrooms and bathrooms and things just for the evening. Except for, one of the bedrooms would have that gorgeous balcony too. I'd use that as a master bedroom. Now this picture I want to show you here shows you the village. The village is a few steps away. The macelleria is there. All of the shops and everything else are there. And it's really nothing to walk to the village, but you also have a driveway that drives you all the way up to the house. You don't even have to get out of your car to get into the garage, and groceries are a breeze as a result. Now, another important thing about this house, it is not inside the historic center. It's just outside. So all of those stringent rules and regulations that you have with a historic center do not apply to you. You can have solar up there. You can have as big a roof terrace as the structure can hold, whereas in the historic center, you can only have 30% of the footprint of your property as a roof terrace. They really, I think things changed back in the 70s, and there's no roof terraces that take up the whole roof anymore. You can only have 30% of your footprint up there as a roof terrace. Not so in this case, as we'll see, because the roof terrace up here could be big and spectacular. So anyway, you can have the place bristling with balconies if you want. You can have tons of windows. You can have whatever the structure will allow. And that's an Antonello question. Now, coming out of where you come up underneath with the stairs, you can see into what's going to be the kitchen and dining room area. And that door leads to the outside. There's a little bridge that goes across the breezeway and into the garden. So you could have your kitchen garden out there. All of your vegetables, your herbs, everything could be right out there. And I'll tell you that, labor to help you build that garden is very inexpensive there. They will even maintain it for you, which is really, really nice. And in addition, there's a chicken coop out there. So if you always wanted chickens like I have, you could renovate that into a little chicken hotel. And I'm sure there are people in the village who would be happy to be hired to care for your chickens for you, because they're, chickens need care, and you have to know how to do it. Anyway, here's a view. Okay, kitchen dining room area. Now, I will tell you about the view in a minute, but look at this kitchen, dining room, living room area. It's pretty big. Now, you have that door that goes out to the back right there, which I would make into a glass door for a little more light. And you see on the other side of that opening in the wall, which I would turn into a beautiful arch, you know, maybe with some brick, you know, stuff. Oh, just gorgeous. Anyway, I would put a window on the other side of that wall, and my sink there. So when you're washing the dishes, you're looking outside at your beautiful garden. You know, I've always loved that idea. Now, this part here where the door is, I would make that into the living room area, and that other part would be the kitchen dining room. It's plenty big for a giant table. Now, here's the interesting part. You saw at the beginning, with the drone video, that there's a portion of the roof that slants down. And it's pretty unusable space. And to be honest with you, you see that hole right there? That's where the stairs come up. So you have to bump your head every last time you get up the stairs. And it's really not fun and not comfortable. And anyway, so the solution for that is you take off that whole entire slanty roof, and that whole area on both sides becomes roof terrace. And the way it's facing is over here is the sea, over here is the Lao River Plain and the mountains, and there's the town. So you would get this view of the sea, the mountains, the town, and everything from your terrace. The feeling of space you would get up there is absolutely stunning. Now, we had a beautiful roof terrace before in the house that we sold. Earlier, we had renovated and sold it. It was absolutely gorgeous. This could be even more spectacular, and I thought that was just the be-all and end-all of roof terraces. Now, here's a view of the backyard. I need to mow, and I will mow before you come and take it over. And this picture I included because I wanted to show you the village. It's a very pretty village, but also show you how close you are to it. You're a short walk from the hairdressers, from the machaveria, from the different supermarkets up there. You're right across the street from the Bella Vista. We have all kinds of services up there. We have a nail salon. We have a spa. You know, you can get your facials and everything done, and people are actually coming up from the surrounding area to come enjoy the spa. We have 2 hairdressers. We have a plant and gift shop. We have the bar, which is lovely, the Bar Chiazza, a wonderful place. A lot of things happening there, and these all came in as a result of all our guys going up there. Now it's like there's a lot happening. So new shops, new things are moving in. Okay, now, if that weren't enough, underneath is a cantina. The cantina was where they, you know, canned things and stuff like that, and cooked and did all kinds of things. It's big. It's got 2 rooms. It could be easily turned into a 1-bedroom apartment with a separate bedroom and a kitchen, dining area. You could do it for short-term rentals. You could do it for long-term rentals because it's very, very spacious and really, really comfortable when you get it all set up. Those beams, I'll tell you something, my friend's beams were way worse than that. These would be a piece of cake for somebody to come in, sandblast them, and restain. And here's from a different angle, that arch that you go through that takes you into the kitchen area, which will be the kitchen. There is a pizza oven in there. It takes up a lot of space. I would take it out and just put in a modern kitchen. Unless you want to keep it as a, you know, as a cantina, which you could. It's up to you. All of these things are to be discussed with Antonello, but super simple to do. Now, here you see there are supports there because the solaio, which is the floor ceiling thing, does need reinforcement. So that will be reinforced. It's not super prohibitively expensive to do that. And to let you know that the price of the house is based on the fact that that needs to be done. And even with that, it's still an incredible value based on what you would normally pay. I think minimally you would pay $120,000 for something like this. It's listed at $99,000. Lots of room, lots of space. Electrics are working. And there's a garage, and you can see my op8 is in the garage, and you can see that there's a garage door opener. So that the garage door is automatic, very handy. The op8 has its own story. You can go down, I'll put a link in the details below to my adventures in Verbicara, where I got stuck on a wall with my car and watched as my op8 on the back of the truck that was taking it down just kind of kept going down the hill, didn't hear me honking, and I was stuck, and the op8 was safe. Anyway, it's quite a hilarious story. It wasn't hilarious when it was happening because it was Saturday night. My phone was dying. I had minimal gas. It was getting dark, and I was stuck on a wall. I mean, my wheels were off the ground. It was hilarious. Anyway, this out bay is really fabulous because I had it painted and done up with flowers. One of the local artists painted it all up. It will be part of my gallery in Torrita di Siena, my art gallery that I'm going to have. I'm going to fill it with flowers. I'm going to display art in the back of it. There'll probably be a sign pointing to the gallery and that kind of thing. It's going to be a really beautiful little marketing thing. So I just love it. All right, now that big sink there is, they made a lot of wine in this garage. So that is a wine crushing sink. There's a spigot on the other side. If you want to spigot out the wine, you can. That's easy to take out if you want to just make room in your garage, which I would do, because unless you're going to make wine, in that case, you might want to keep it. Now, attached to the garage is another storage area, and this is where they kept all the wine. You can see the bottles are there. I will be taking some of those bottles to make little lanterns out of them, you know, fill them with fairy lights and whatnot for the gallery. However, I'm going to leave a lot of them for you if you want them. Otherwise, people want them. I'll find them, you know, find somebody who wants all that stuff on Facebook Marketplace. There are barrels of wine up there. I don't know if they contain any wine, but they are barrels, and you can use them for planters. You can do whatever. If you don't want them, we'll get rid of them. And yeah, they were quite the winemaking operation. I gave all the winemaking equipment to our friend Roberto because he wanted to make wine, and I have no desire. Frankly, the wine at the Bella Vista is some of the best wine I've ever had in Italy. So why would I make it when I can go across the street and for €4 buy a bottle of some of the best Italian wine available? It didn't make sense. Anyway, this is a nice space for storing your, you know, patio furniture, whatever, your bikes, anything you want to store. There's tons of room down there. So you can see there is a lot to this house. We had great plans, but like I said, circumstances change and opportunities present, and we could not pass it up because we had so much fun booming Santa Domenica Talao that we really want to boom another hill town or boom an area or whatever. It's just what we do. Anyway, we have the workers set up. We have Antonello, who's ready to go. We have all of the workers. We have the kitchen suppliers. We have the furniture makers, bespoke furniture makers. We have everything you need for a wonderful renovation, and they're ready to go. Most of the renovations are all finished up there, so you won't have a wait to get started on the project. So let us know what you think in the comments down there. The price is fantastic. You know, it is a bit negotiable, but again, the price is about as low as you can get in a place like this. It could be the most spectacular project in the world. And like I said, when we purchased the house, we had grand ideas and we were ready to go. So you could do the same thing. So there you go, guys. Let me know what you think, and we'll keep you posted on this because somebody's going to snap it up, and I'd like to follow the renovation. See you soon, guys.